Jamming with History, a Sanderside's fan fiction, written and read by Love Living My Dreams. Magical Days. They stood there for a moment in the water, just heaving as they caught their breath. And then Virgil laughed, and the moment ended. I can't believe you just gave me a Disney princess moment, he said. Roman shrugged and turned to walk back towards their cabin. They were both soaked. They should get into dry clothes. Well, you clearly needed one, he insisted. Virgil looked down, a little flustered, making Roman feel just a little smug. When did you even have time to come up with a whole song? Virgil wondered, still not looking at him. I wrote it last night while you were asleep. I was going to tweak it a little bit tonight, but it seemed like now was the right time, he shrugged. Virgil shook his head and cast his eyes towards the sky. You are unbelievable, he grinned as Roman opened the door to their cabin. I think we ruined your clothes, though, Virgil mused, looking down to his pants. Roman shrugged. It shouldn't rain. Let's get in our PJs and hang the clothes up to dry, he suggested casually. Virgil nodded, grabbing his pajamas and looked up at the door to the bedroom. Go, I'll get changed in here, Roman assured him. With a quick, appreciative smile, Virgil hurried into the bedroom. Roman was readjusting his beast onesie when he heard a knock from the bedroom. I'm decent, he assured Virgil with a chuckle. The door opened and Virgil stepped out with a black shirt, red shorts, and yellow indoor socks. I'm Disney bounding, he smiled with a wink, gesturing at his outfit. A perfect start to a magical week, Roman praised, making Virgil roll his eyes, though he failed to hide his blush. Roman kind of pitied Virgil. He must be so nervous about giving himself away. Hopefully he would find the proposal and confession worth all the anxiety in the end. He sat down in his bed cross-legged. You want to go to sleep, or... Virgil thought on that for a moment as he mirrored Roman's actions on his own bed across the room from him. I don't know. I don't want to miss breakfast with your parents. But I also feel too excited to sleep, he mused. Then how about we get in bed, turn off the lights, and talk until we fall asleep, Roman suggested. That might work, Virgil mused. So they got in bed and, in Roman's case, stared up at the ceiling with hands folded behind the head. So, real talk. I think we should pick a park a day and try to make it through, and then we have like 2 days left to do the things we really enjoyed or didn't get around to doing the first time around, Roman suggested. I know my parents have saved Sunday to go to Typhoon Lagoon with us, but we can go there on our own if you want as well, Roman assured Virgil. Nah, hanging out at the water park sounds like the perfect way to end the week, honestly, Virgil mused. Cool, Roman smiled. Guess we should first know where the shoots are happening, before we decide where to go on each day then. It would be a bit silly to spend most of the day in the Magic Kingdom and then pop over to Animal Kingdom for a shoot real quick in the middle of the day or whatever, Virgil pointed out. Yeah, you're right, Roman agreed. We can also spend the day at Blizzard Beach with the time we got left, he added. There was always more to do than there was time to do it at Disney World. I'm going to win a push-up contest against Gaston, Virgil announced. Roman chuckled. Good luck. You think I can? Virgil challenged. Roman thought that over. I mean, maybe. He's pretty fit, though, he pointed out. Virgil was fit. But the Gastons were selected specifically so they would win most tests of strength and fitness a guest could present them with. We'll see, Virgil stated confidently. They talked for a little while longer about what they knew about the parks and things they looked forward to, as well as other things like finals and races and dancing, and then Virgil's voice faded out as his breath evened. He fell asleep. Roman smiled and tore out a paper in his notepad, where he had written down some things he'd need his parents' help with if he didn't want Virgil to find out about his plans. He tucked it away in the pocket of his jacket, which laid over his nightstand, and then settled in for the night, falling asleep with a smile on his face. This coming week would be awesome. Virgil woke him up with a pillow to the face and a hearty laugh. Get ready, sleeping beauty. Your parents are expecting us. He grinned. A quick glance told the woman that Virgil was fresh out of the shower. He was dressed in jeans and a white short-sleeved shirt, the top, the top few buttons open. Oh, he had to know what he was doing. Had Virgil decided to go for it? That might be interesting, honestly. Are you trying to tell me I have a nice ass? He murmured as he rubbed his eyes and sat up in his bed. Sure, now go get dressed, you moron, Virgil insisted with another hit from his pillow. Right, jeez, Roman laughed as he got up, grabbed his clothes from the prepared pile, and headed to the shower. By the way, you look good. You fit right in, he winked before closing the door. After a quick shower and a check over in the mirror, he gave himself an approving nod and stepped back into the main room to greet Virgil. Upon hearing the door open, Virgil looked up. His eyes took in his light blue jeans, white shirt with a black bow tie. He quirked his brow. Alice Disney bound, Roman stated, making his friend chuckle. Are you going to take me to Wonderland? He teased. Roman cocked his head and then chuckled. Well, if you borrow my red blazer, and I have a golden tie, you'd make a dashing white rabbit, Roman pointed out. Virgil blushed. Oh, we could do that. Roman grinned, headed to his closet and tossed Virgil the mentioned blazer and tie. Get these on and let's go, he grinned. We are having breakfast here. After we can pass by the kiosk to get ourselves a magic band. We can set them up while we are on the way to wherever we decide to start our vacation. You mean you don't have one of your own yet? Virgil pointed out as he shrugged on the blazer and struggled with the tie for a moment before Roman walked up to him and helped him secure it with the well-practiced moves. Of course I have, but you can have multiple if you want. And I'd like to have a matching one with you for this trip, he stated casually as he adjusted the knot so the tie sat where the first closed button was. There, wouldn't want to ruin your statement, he smiled before he turned around and put on his shoes. Virgil followed his lead, though there was a pause that made Roman think he needed to gather his thoughts for a moment, a thought that made his smile stretch just a bit more to spite himself. He grabbed Virgil by the wrist when they were ready and giddily led him back to the main building. He could tell Virgil was trying to follow along, but also trying to take in all that was around him. Last night it had been dark, and they'd both been pretty wrapped up with their own world. Roman slowed down just a bit so Virgil could enjoy the moment a bit more. They made their way to the cafe where they found Roman's parents waiting for them. Morning! Hope you weren't waiting too long, Roman greeted, as he kissed his parents on the cheeks in greeting. Morning, darling. No, we just got here, don't worry, his mother assured him. You both look excellent. Let's order and get to the itinerary for this week. I'm sure you both have things you'd like to be doing, his father added with a wink. We don't need to rush, sir. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, after all, Virgil smiled. Roman's parents chuckled at that. You have a point, Virgil, his mother agreed with a smile. They took a seat and soon a staff member came to take their orders. Virgil took the tonga toast with bacon and a glass of orange juice. Roman took the egg platter sunny side with bacon and a moana smoothie. His mother got a loco moco, while his father got a salmon plate. They shared a pot of fresh coffee. Well, the business things first, then, Roman's dad stated as he handed both of them a folder. This is your homework and this week's itinerary. when we expect your boys to be on a certain location for shoots or for a collective meal. Today we will be taking pictures at the tree of life in the animal kingdom. We expect you for lunch, and after that we'll go to the shoot location together. We'll try to make it so it won't take longer than 2 hours at most. How does that sound for you boys? Roman's mother asked. Virgil looked through the folder and smiled. This looks great, ma'am. I'm truly looking forward to this week. Thank you again for inviting me along, he stated sincerely. It's no trouble, Virgil. You have been a good to Roman for longer than we realized, apparently. This makes up for the many trips you should have been taking with us over the years, his father stated firmly. Virgil simply nodded, accepting that his family insisted on spoiling him for the simple act of being Roman's friend. Now, do tell me, what has my brother dragged you into yesterday? Roman's father inquired curiously. Virgil and Roman gladly talked about the fair and the helicopter ride and the diner. Roman's parents listened to their tales with fondness. When their meal was finished, Roman's parents excused themselves. They had to set things up for the shoot. He hugged them both, and they waved goodbye before pulling Virgil along to the kiosk and buying them both a tote bag, pencils, and Magic Plus bands with the partnership statue design. Virgil was more than a little giddy as he watched Roman connect their bands to his phone. Okay, so it's interactive with some of the rides and stuff, but it'll allow you to pay for a bunch of stuff without much hassle, and it helps us with virtual queues and fast lane stuff, Roman explained. To get to the animal kingdom, we'll need to take a bus, and so we can work on our homework on the ride there and during dinner if we really have to, Roman explained. We can also work on them a bit before bed, or while we are waiting in line for a ride, Virgil suggested. Optimize our time, good thinking, Roman grinned. I'm glad the first shoot is after lunch with your parents. I would stress about making it on time for a good first impression on the photographer and other models otherwise, Virgil mused as he got on their bus. The day was absolute bliss. They figured out the new stuff they had to know formats on the rides together with little trouble. Woman's parents had a contact at school who was very good at putting together these work packets on short notice. They put away their packets in their tote bags as they entered the park. They made a game out of spotting the different animals, and when Virgil spotted someone with a camera who was not so subtly following them, they responded by taking a bunch of selfies and posting them with some joke about two monkeys being loose in the animal kingdom. They went on a few of the trail rides. Roman didn't think either of them minded getting squished together. They decided to wait with the flight of passage and the longer rides until after the shoot. They swayed and half-assed some dancing whenever they encountered street performers before waving at them as they moved on to their next adventure. They played some of the fossil fun games and managed to each win the other a prize. Roman received a stuffed red snake and Virgil got a purple pterodactyl. They had some fun having their prizes attack one another as they walked to Tiffin's where they met Roman's parents for lunch. They were both more than eager to vent about their day to the bemused adults. Glad you are enjoying yourselves, boys. Quick reminder, tomorrow's shoot will be at a sunset shoot at Hollywood's Boulevard, and possibly a few pictures at Sunset Boulevard as well. So you'll have almost a whole day to yourselves, they informed them with a smile. Awesome, Virgil grinned. I saw some signs coming here alerting the guests that the tree won't be available. Is it hard to put a reservation on such a location? Virgil wondered. Not if you know how to sell your product, Mr. Fernandez winked. They enjoyed their meal and then headed to the tree where Virgil was promptly whisked away to a mobile changing room for his first outfit and makeup. Woman sat himself on a bench and watched as the photographer worked with a few of the other models that had been here already. He watched as Virgil joined them in a pair of beige shorts and a light blue shirt that ran long in the back. The models quickly seemed to take a liking to him, and within moments it looked as though Virgil had always been part of the modeling world. Woman hadn't expected anything less. He watched as Virgil moved through the poses with increasing ease and natural charisma that had gotten him his popularity at school. Virgil modeled a few outfits that seemed themed around vacation and adventure. And then it was over and Virgil rushed back to his side to pull him towards the Pandora attraction. The 3D flight simulator was in one word exhilarating, and they kind of talked each other into adopting a banshee in the gift shop. Roman arranged for their new pets to be delivered to the Polynesian for them to pick up later. Afterwards, they wound down with a safari ride. They made their way through the remaining park, taking pictures with the animals and having a blast on the rides. And finally, they settled for homework and dinner at the Flame Tree Barbecue. Woman spotted their stalker again and reacted by taking a selfie, posting it with brain food and tummy food for two. This was awesome. I hope every day this week goes like this. Virgil grinned as they got on their bus back home after a delicious dinner. Who knows? It just might, Woman grinned, happy that Virgil seemed to be enjoying himself so much. When they got back to the hotel, they settled in at the beach to finish a few things for the day. We're not going to get through it all in one night, are we? Virgil sighed, a little disappointed. I've tried. Always failed. But we made a good start. I think we got through a third in one day, he stated. True. I think we did plenty for the day. Hollywood Studios, huh? Virgil mused as he laid back on the beach chair. Yep. I'm actually looking forward to it. It's some amazing scenery, honestly, Roman relayed. How often have you been here? Virgil wondered. Roman hummed. A lot. I come a few times a year usually, he admitted. Cool. So you know your way around pretty well, huh? Virgil mused. Yeah, pretty much. Though it has yet to lose its magic for me, he stated. Virgil nodded along to that and they both fell into a comfortable silence. Woman took out his phone to check his messages. He'd been ignoring them all day. Everyone in the gang had sent him links in the gossip group chat, and he'd been barraged with messages in the Get Roman and Virgil to start dating group chat as well. What is it? Virgil wondered. Something I want to check on when we get back to the bungalow, Woman decided. Virgil looked at him for a long moment and then got up. We don't have to. I won't be able to think of anything else until I know what that's about, Virgil pointed out. Roman had to admit he was curious too. They walked back to their cabin, and as soon as the door closed behind them, Roman clicked on one of the links. It was a video of them at the beach last night. It clearly was part of a regular vacation video that got sidetracked by them noticing two teenagers messing around on the shoreline. You couldn't really hear the song well, but every once in a while Roman belted out and the phone microphone picked up the words, Count me in. They were recognized clearly, going by the title of the video, Fashion Prince at Disney. And of course people would be curious about the song and stuff. Virgil suddenly disappeared from his sight and Roman looked up to find him pointing a camera at him. What are you doing? He laughed nervously. Smile, I'm live streaming this on my Insta, Virgil announced. Shut up, you are not, Roman objected. Virgil wouldn't blindside him like that. Okay, I'm not, but I'm about to. Ready? He asked. Roman rolled his eyes. To do what? Give the people what they want. Come on, show off those singing chops, Virgil insisted. I'm not warmed up. I've been screaming my head off all day. You are about as prepared as you were yesterday, and you did awesome. Come on, Virgil insisted. Consider it Promotion for the summer play, he added. Well, free publicity was not something the community theater could afford to miss out on. Fine, go ahead, Roman sighed. Virgil made a gesture with his hands indicating he was filming, probably. All right, Ro, the people want to hear the song, so let's show them what massive talents would be coming to the Sunzu Theater this summer, Virgil announced. Roman rolled his eyes, but took a deep breath and started singing. Much more nervous and held back than yesterday at first, but Virgil was having none of that and started swinging with the imagined melody and hyping him up, and soon they were both dancing around the room, and Roman forgot that it was being streamed. Virgil even chimed in on the chorus a few times, and they both laughed about the amount of fun they were having. Finally, they landed on Virgil's bed, Virgil still filming them. They waved goodbye to the audience, and Virgil ended the stream. There, that's that solved, he sighed, chest heaving with the exertion of their shenanigans. Yeah. Breakfast here at Hollywood Studios. We still have to take the bus, Roman warned. Oh, can I think about it tomorrow? I don't know what I'll feel like having yet, Virgil suggested. Roman nodded. Works for me, he stated as he got up, grabbed his PJs and went into the bedroom to get dressed. Whatever people thought about the song and about the original video was a worry for when they got home. When it came to their friends, though, if we were together, you guys would be the first to know. Plan is still on, he informed them. He double-checked if he was in the right group chat before pressing send, though he thought he could play it off if he made a mistake on that front. As he got changed, he thought about how he and Virgil had been together today, how easy and carefree Virgil had been, how he'd been standing closer than usual, how once or twice he thought he saw him glancing at his hand. Virgil most certainly was at least thinking of trying to dazzle him away from his Julian. And if he decided to follow through, well, Roman might enjoy playing oblivious just a touch. It would all be worth it in the end. He'd make absolutely sure of it. Thank you for listening, guys. I'll see you next week for the next chapter. Bye.